Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Forgive me, man. I'm so sorry, guys. Time saving, daylight saving in the UK has messed up my times, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please, please forgive me. I thought I still had at least another hour until I needed to come and do the live. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please forgive me. But we've got some movement in the chart with Bitcoin. 6 more minutes until the start of the news announcements, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bit of a mad move, and I'm just looking forward to seeing it. I've got so much information to give over to you guys, but I haven't... It's not due for another hour in my eyes. Not good. I hate this change in time. Anyway, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Mad love and respect for passing through. I hope you are all doing well today. Now, look, we've had some movement in the chart with Bitcoin. We've got a lot of speculation on what's going to be happening tomorrow. And I've said it at the start of the week. Bitcoin needs to come down before the FOMC. I don't want to see Bitcoin moving up because we would only assume it's a bit of a false move. Okay, how can they be that optimistic about the Fed's decision? We want to see everything across the board come down. Now, if the details tomorrow in the FOMC statement stipulate that they're still going to roll with the 75 base point increase, happy days. But it's the press conference tomorrow that's going to lead the narrative. All right? Again, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. Let's get to the charts, man. I don't believe what's happening, man. Honestly, I can't believe it. Oh, my God. What is going on here? Oh, man. This needs to be sorted out. There we go. Happy days. Are we good? Sorry, Mike. Honestly, guys, I just can't believe what's happened. Anyways, let's just roll with the chart, man. Here we go. So, what's been going on? Bitcoin takes a bit of a nosedive and completely rejects that daily open. Earlier on today to the patrons, we were having the anticipation that if Bitcoin was going to continue higher, then we would expect a little bit of a stop run to happen inside of this zone. We kind of saw the stop run, but it didn't last long. They ripped it back down again. US Brinks, look what's happened. Stop hunt rise, rip to the downside. Now, the data comes out in exactly 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And what I need to do is I need to split the chart up and see if we have any interest in relation to the dominance of the dollar. So here we go. Dollar dominance coming up and climbing up quite aggressively as well. Bitcoin right there, looking pretty decent. Let me just get this changed up. Man, this is just absolutely terrible. I can't believe what's going on, man. Can you tell me if you guys can see the screen with the numbers? Happy days. That looks pretty clear as well. Let me just make it full screen. Happy days. That's good for my guys. Hopefully that's all right. Okay, then cool. Now, Dixie moving up tells me the narrative that money is being transferred into the dollar. All right. Earlier on this morning, you could see that they were holding Bitcoin's price inside of this zone. Now, what we've got to be aware of, let me just flip to the hour time frame. No, yeah, let's go to the hour. Happy days. Right. Look at the hour time frame on Bitcoin. Look at this. You have got the recovery of the red vector candle in the zone. Psychological low completely ripped. And then they rip lower. But look, Bitcoin's doing good. Think about it. It's holding this 200. Stopping volume principle has acted very well to move up. The principle says that if they move to a zone where they previously moved from, and there are vector candles that have prevented price from exceeding lower, because look, this big red vector candle breaches the zone, comes down lower, but doesn't really break the range. All it does is recovers this vector candle, and you can see how the green vector candle range right here has been recovered on the stopping volume to rip price back up. Now Bitcoin's looking like it wants to try and come back up again. And in the next 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the proof of the move with Bitcoin. If the data comes out regarding the JOLTS job openings, if there are still more people having the option to get work, that means that economically speaking, the economy's doing good. Think about it. Because if there are more options for people to go out and work, then that means there's less people claiming benefit. Now, whether those people take that benefit or take the jobs is completely different. All right? It's a different story. But what we've got to try and understand, ladies and gentlemen, is if the data that comes out in literally 1 minute's time, if you are in positions in Bitcoin, okay, whether it's short or long, mainly short right now, if any of you took a short, consider taking some profit because the data could lead to two things. If it's good for the dollar, dollar could move up, If it's bad for the dollar, dollar could still move up. In other words, will traders come away from safety in the actual dollar and start putting it into assets because they want risk on? Or will they start taking their money away from the bonds, which naturally is going to lead the yields to move higher, which then leads NASDAQ, S&P to take a nosedive to the downside? So just check this out. Look what's going on NASDAQ. NASDAQ took an absolute phenomenal drop to the downside, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy move down lower. This move up was consistent with a squeeze, for the better word, where they were trapping the longs in. The green vector candle in the zone right there was giving us the clue. Let me just quickly split my chart up into 3 and get Bitcoin up on the right side. Here we go. There's NASDAQ there. Let's get Bitcoin up on the news announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here we go. Movement's happening. Here we go. Look, this is treacherous. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's making a move lower. Here we go. Look at that breach. Oh, my days. 19K could be a promise if it does come into play. Here we are. Dixie, what's Dixie doing? Shooting up. There it is. Like, rah, man. Just look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the treachery. What did I say? Look at that. Dixie's taking a mad move up. NASDAQ's probably continuing its move lower. Yep, even lower, man. I can't believe this, man. I was running shorts on NASDAQ and I closed out. Can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Patrons of the channel, I've been trading earlier on this morning, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been a wild day for trading for me. And you can see bright as day that the NASDAQ futures market itself, sorry, not this one, NASDAQ futures are taking a nosedive. Bitcoin is coming down, recovering this zone right here. They started the sell-off this morning. The key psychological zone in the chart, ladies and gentlemen, is and always will be the 20K region, okay? Now, the data itself, let me just get this up. Have a look at the data. Man, I ain't ever doing this again. This daylight saving has completely knocked me for 6, man. I can't believe it. All right, then. What's the data saying? ISM Manufacturing Index has come in. Come on. Give me my data. Bitcoin's doing really well to react this. Dixie's come up, hit that 800 EMA on the 2-minute time frame. Full recovery of the vector candles in the zone. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? I'm sorry. This is not me. All right? This is not me. I didn't even get a chance to change my shirt, man. I was going to put on a red vector candle shirt. And look, man, it's... Right, here we go. 10.72 million on the data of the JOLTS job openings. And the ISM manufacturing came in above 50, so 50.02. So that means there's not a contraction. They projected less than 50, well, bang on 50, but it came in marginally 0.2, okay? What does that mean? It means that things aren't as bad as they're making them out to be. Now, the Fed is going to react to this information. Going into tomorrow's data, ladies and gentlemen, let me just bring this up here. Going into tomorrow's data, we have got the ADP non-farm employment change. Now, 10.72 million JOLTS job openings. Simply put, it says its release date can impact the market because job openings are a leading indicator of overall employment. More people are being offered jobs. That's going to be a problem for inflation because if that means more people are going to be able to go and get work, they're just going to absorb the idea of inflation. Okay? What we're waiting for is we're waiting for the market to pick up the narrative that they're looking into the future. We know the Fed's going to increase the interest rate tomorrow at 75 basis points. Anything above 75 is going to rock the marketplace. Okay? On top of that, we have also got the idea that if the marketplace itself, in Bitcoin, should I say, Bitcoin can hold its behavior inside of whatever's going on across the world, macroeconomically speaking. Principle says that this zone for the longer term, this area is what we understand to be the psychological W formation. Why do we say psychological W formation? Because one side of the pattern itself tells you that traders are getting trapped short. The other side of the pattern tells you that market makers preparing to run price higher. Okay? This channel, ladies and gentlemen, is all about understanding the matrix. Market. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to try and get you into the understanding of how the game works, okay? Now, you'll never be able to pinpoint where price is going to go next. You can have a probability outlook on the way price moves. But when you've got news announcements, ladies and gentlemen, and given that in principle, we are expecting Bitcoin to come back into this zone of liquidity, ladies and gentlemen, we expect it. Why? There is already the discussion on yields inverting. For the last 7 recessions, before the recession was declared, the yields had inverted. And again, I will reiterate this information to you always so that you got it in your minds every time you come to the chart. What's the narrative? The narrative is important because you are in essence opening trades based on when traders feel as though Bitcoin is going to go up or go down. Is NASDAQ going to go up or go down? Are they going to execute the narrative of the outlook for the economy ain't looking so great? Bitcoin is making that move, ladies and gentlemen, on the hourly. Let's just go over to here. Here we are. Strength, man. 19. 19 is what I'm looking for with Bitcoin. Why? Because we put to bed the idea of this vector candle zone. It's an imbalance in the chart that needs to be realized. Why? Because here is where market maker was able to pick up interest from retail trader to go long. How many of you closed your longs? How many of you got rid of your positions before this play? How many of you took advantage of the move to the upside in Bitcoin and then sat through this drawdown or this monotonous range-like way of playing out the chart for you to only start getting rid of your position now that it's dropping? Well, it's quite bizarre, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Think about this. You wait for a position to go into profit, then you sat there like a wet duck, waiting to see if it can continue into more profit. Then you see it going down. Don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I go through the same thing. I ain't no superhuman. Some of you think I'm synthetic. Mad love and respect to all you beautiful people for thinking that. Who's in the room with me right now, ladies and gentlemen? Who's with me? Look how delayed I am, man. Look how delayed I am. It's so bad. So bad. This won't happen. And I'm going to be going live again tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to just discuss things and we'll have a little bit more structure in what we're doing. Mike's probably losing his because it's all over the place. I mean, I had some really cool things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, on here, but I just didn't get it done. Anyway, let's just have a look at what's going on right now. So look, unless Bitcoin breaches the 15-minute time frame 800 EMA, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a problem, okay? If it breaks it, Bitcoin will flush to yesterday's low, and this is where you would anticipate a stop run inside of this zone, okay? This is where stops are consistent. Why? Because they did it over here. Now, the fact is that Bitcoin hasn't done that. Does that give you a reason to believe that Bitcoin's going to go higher? No? Yes? How many of you would go long from this point? This is the question. Because this channel is designed at making you do the opposite of what retail does. Remember that. We don't go long when price is rising. No. We go long when it drops. Now, the whole point is that you want to try and capture that long at the point where you believe it's going to change and move up. How do you find that out? You go into the smaller time frames. Now, listen, I've noticed that there are quite a few people going on with the idea of the hybrid system. Okay, a lot of people talking about the hybrid system. All right. The one key aspect to the hybrid system is this, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand what the movement is doing. You see a red vector candle? Yeah, we expect them to come back into it. When? Sometimes they do it straight away. Sometimes they take a little bit of time. The narrative is dictating that. JOLTS job openings. Looks like there's more jobs being offered. Fed's going to have a problem. Why? Because it needs the employment rate to go down. It needs to go up. Unemployment rate needs to go up. Man, I'm losing my shit here. Sorry. I'm losing my shit here, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me. This is what happens when you do things off a whim. No preparation because of this daylight time-saving madness. I hate that. Anyways, let's just have a look at what's going on across the board. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum breaches the zone, rip lower to the downside. Daily open, breached. It's doing okay. Vector candle recovery. Still got a blue vector candle in this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen, which is very important for us. Yesterday's low is the next nominal point of interest in Ethereum. Let's just have a look at Doge for a second. Doge has been doing some madness, man. Absolute madness in Dogecoin. Let's just have a look at this. I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. I said only last week that meme coins are done. Clearly not. Clearly not. Which is why when you come to cryptocurrency, They say it's impossible for XRP to go to $10,000 a coin, $5,000 a coin. It's impossible for Bitcoin to go to $400,000 a coin or $1 million a coin. At the end of the day, if you are prepared to pay and is enough people paying, it will go wherever it wants. The math doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let's think about this, okay? The math doesn't make sense. What market cap for XRP to become $10,000 a coin? It's like, what, 100 trillion or something crazy like that? 100 trillion. Do you understand what that means? Whatever the figure is, enlighten me, someone, you know? But if people are committed to buying, you're not going to stop the masses, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, oh my days, oh my days. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we have got movement in the chart. Let's just get Bitcoin up for a second. Dixie on the right side of the chart, guys. Let's get Bitcoin over here. Here we go. Now look, Dixie is moving up, but Bitcoin's doing well to hold, okay? This is important. Dixie's doing very well to hold. I mean, Bitcoin's doing very well to hold this, given that it hasn't actually broken a key zone just yet, okay? This is important. That's not a signal for you to buy yet, ladies and gentlemen. You're caught up in volatility. What time are we on? 10 past 2. I can't believe it, man. It's still holding this M2 pivot point. Don't get too excited. Now, patrons of the channel, they know what to do in these sort of situations, okay? An example would be the principle of the V-shaped play, mainly for those guys who trade off the smaller time frames. And what you're looking for is you're looking for the point where you start to see vector candles, specifically green vector candles, to appear at the lows. Why? Because it's a block. It's a prevention of price to continue lower. An influx of orders have come in. The ask has been hit at the lowest point. Remember, when you're looking at delta, for anybody that looks at exo charts, you'll always find that the delta, when price is moving up, you'll always see the ask coming in aggressively. So the delta will be very strong at the highest point in the chart. That's the trap. Again, at the lowest point in the chart, the delta will be high as a negative reading. That's the point of turning. You don't do nothing now. Look, by principle of vectors, Mr. Market Maker doesn't show his hand unless a vector candle moves. Why? Because a red vector candle, blue or green, is in principle the amount of transactions that happen at speed in the chart. There ain't no retail trader that is able to move price or transact at that speed. It's only market maker that's able to do that. So the V-shaped play principle says that you grab a move to the downside to try and exploit the move back up. In the other words, that it's a stop run. You go back into the charts over here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's an example of a V-shaped play, a very sharp one as well. One of these plays right here. And you've got another zone, for example, exactly like this. It's like this zone. This one's a little bit more of an extended zone, but we projected this out yesterday evening with the market maker tier of the pattern watchers. Sorry, of the Patriots. Shut up, Tino. Anyways, that was the V-shaped play right there. More importantly, another V-shaped play right here. And what are you looking for? You're looking for vector candles to come in. Look, first green vector candle right there. Another green vector. That would give you the idea that they come back and recover those vector points. And if the narrative comes in that they don't favor lower prices, then they will initiate the rise, the retrace, the continuation out to recover what? The vector candle in the zone in the chart. So jump forward to Bitcoin over here, ladies and gentlemen. And we do this. I'm speaking at speed, man. We are expecting this structure to come into play. So we're waiting for Bitcoin to hold in this zone. Ladies and I am not on fire, ladies and gentlemen. I am far from fire right now. I am Kindle fire right now. Kindle, a little BS flame right there, just doing nothing. All right? Again, I apologize. Punctuality has been terrible. Got to get the mini market maker very short. Not very shortly. I've technically still got at least another half an hour until I need to go and get my daughter from school. Okay? So we're going to have some fun right now, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, man. Here we go. Give me some coins. What coins do you want me to have a look at, ladies and gentlemen? I actually want to have a look at Luna for a second. Luna's taking that nosedive. Before I actually look at coins, let me just look at some assets across the board. Oh, God. Euro USD back to vector recovery. 3, 2, 1. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Change. What's going on? What is going on? Why is it taking absolutely forever? Let's just do something over here. Look at Bitcoin on this chart right here. This is ATUS Platform, ladies and gentlemen. Just have a look at Bitcoin. Here we go. So I've got right here, you can see inside of here that the bids and the ask have had the battle right here to move price up from that point. Okay, I can see your coins. Here we go. So what have we got? Let me see. Actually, I'll tell you what. We're going to do this. I've got most of your coins in my altcoin boss list right here. Here we go. Who's got the biggest change? TRIAS. Here we go. Making a nice move up. Given that Bitcoin's taken a nosedive, pay attention to this asset. Why? From a trading perspective, when everything is taking a nosedive across the board and this asset is holding out, the retrace back down on this asset will control itself. And then when Bitcoin looks to retrace back up into the vector candle recovery, this bad boy should be moving up higher to try and take, I mean, look, it's still moving up. And this is on Qcoin as well, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see that we have got big recovery in the zone right there. Big recovery. Mad recovery. AmpCoin, no, won't be looking at that one. JASMY, big things happening with Japanese yen, ladies and gentlemen. SHIBA, doing its move. I know a couple of guys that are trading SHIBA. Super, big spikes to the upside, looking to come back down. Let me have a look at Render Token right there. Climbing up like TRIAS as well. Pay attention to that bad boy. Okay, let's have a look at Solana. Vector candle recovery zone 1 and 2 could be starting the process off to drop down lower. Let's just have a look at COTI doing the same thing as well. Let's have a look at Curve. A lot of altcoins are doing the same thing, which leads me over to do the following. Okay, totals chart. Total 3. Have a look at the total market cap. What do you see? Most assets are trying, in principle, to hold the 50 EMA with the altcoin market. Now, I'm going to tell you straight, ladies and gentlemen. Do I like the altcoin market? No. Why? I say I don't like it for the new guy, okay? Because the new guy's going to get bullied. It's going to get thrown about when he trades altcoins. Now, some of you might have a different view on the altcoins. That's cool. I'm cool with that, all right? But I want to make sure that I'm not caught up in crazy volatile movements. I like controlled movement, okay? Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean you can't exploit altcoins, okay? Some do move well. Some have crazy behavior. But the total market cap on the chart is showing that most of the altcoins are testing their 50 EMA, okay? What you're looking for is you're looking for altcoins that are away from the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. So I know some of you are savvy to it. Can you please put coins right now that are above the 50 EMA? I'm not talking like this little above it. The 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. How many altcoins are above the 50? Okay? And I'll tell you exactly why. I just mentioned it, why it's important that you need to focus on those coins. Let's just have a look at who's talking about. Let's have a look. Is AVAX above? Let's go crypto. AVAX above the 50. My back is killing me, man. No, below the 50. Give me another coin. GALA. Above the 50. Okay, we've had a bit of volatility. Is it above the 50? No, at the 50. Next, give me a coin. Doge, I'm not going to count Doge, ladies and gentlemen, because Doge has made its move. All right. Who's this? Yeah, whatever that is. Come on. All right, look. Okay, for the nature of demonstration, meme coin style, right? Doge is above the 50 EMA. When assets generically across the altcoin market move up from this point, anything above the 50 EMA that has retraced will shift out. Okay? So Doge is not really a great example. I want an example of an asset that has taken a mad move away from the 50. I need it to be a bold move. Let's have a look at EGLD. Let's have a look at this. Away from the 50 on the 1 hour time frame. Not good. Anything. Give me something. EOS. Is there anything? What on earth is that? Here we go. What is this, Brer? What's he doing to my chat? What is that? Okay. This is away from the 50, a relatively decent move away from the 50 on the 1 hour time frame, confluence of the daily and the psychological high, okay? So the principle says that if the altcoin market, I'll bring that up for you. If the altcoin market right now is still struggling to get above the 50, but this bad boy is holding above it, when the altcoin market cap itself moves away, this bad boy is going to end up over here. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say to you. Because you look at the total market cap and think, okay, all the altcoins are going to be behaving and holding at the 50 EMA. I'm going to look to see those assets. You don't want to do that because you want to see the ones that are leading away from the narrative overall. That means there's more money going into that. Whether you consider the idea of volatility or not, ultimately, it's got the move in favor to continue higher. That's what the principle says. And even if the altcoin market does drop down from this point, yet this asset on the left holds above the 50, this bad boy right here is going to make a move higher when the altcoin market tries to come back in and start moving back up again. So in other words, this could be the following. Say the altcoin market comes down here, yeah? Finishes at this point. Say EOS comes down and finishes at the 50 EMA. When the altcoin market starts to try and come back up again, EOS itself would have confirmed the support of the 50 from this point and shift out. It will be the mover. And it will be, again, the altcoin that holds above the 50 whilst altcoins across the board are trying to get above it. That's how you gauge the idea of strength in specific altcoins. Okay? Does that make sense? Phantom, let's have a look. 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Any good for me? Yes, no, come on. No good for me. Chills. Here we are. Okay, decent. Very, very good. Very good. Come on. Bang. Okay, look at this. Collectively holding its gains inside of this zone. I don't care about pennants, triangles, Fibonacci's. They all serve purpose to the trader that uses them. I'm more interested in intention. Big spike to the upside, consolidate sideways. Bitcoin has taken an absolute nosedive, okay? And this bad boy right here has done very well to hold. When you pay attention to assets that are going against the narrative of what's going on, you're in line for a coin that could make big gains when Bitcoin starts to make its move back up. Because ultimately, money's going to be bringing Bitcoin up. Money's going to be bringing the altcoins up, okay? That's how it all works, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Are we cool with that? Let's just break down the chart again for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at what's going on, all right? What did we just talk about, ladies and gentlemen? What did we just say? Practically gave you a strategy live and you've seen it play out. Patreons, how many of you just played this bad boy? I want to know. Market maker patrons, how many of you just played this bad boy? Where are you? Where are you? Tell me you guys took it. Any market maker patrons took this trade? I want to see you guys talking. Mad days. Again, I am sorry. We're all good for time. We're all good for time. Are we good for time? 3:20. Yeah. Here we go. Patex, mad love to you, bro. Wicked. Wicked, wicked, wicked. And you don't even need to be a patron for that. Here we go. But I just wanted to know the strategy we just discussed a moment ago. You're looking for the first green vector candle that will trigger the break in the chart to stop the narrative. There is your V-shaped play right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the basis of this strategy. But you got to pay yourself, man. You're trading 1 minute time frames. Your profit target in principle should be either the 50 EMA or the 200 EMA by principle. And it's not always going to lead towards that point because the 50 or the daily might not be so close. Okay? Let's just quickly go over to the 1 hour time frame. Let me just break this up and go into the Dixie itself. Dixie's pulling back. Coming back up into vector candle recovery zones right there. There it is right there. The trickery. 200 EMA block. This play by Dixie right here is very interesting because there was a structure right here and they come down towards this zone but haven't taken this vector point. Right. Today, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get this price action with Bitcoin, all right? Look at this. You're going to get this play by Bitcoin and then going into the FOMC tomorrow. By the time London closes today, all right, you might just see price stabilize and just not do anything, okay? Cool, the JOLTS job openings showing that there are more people going into work or being offered the work, okay? ISM manufacturing index comes in above the 50, so no contraction in that area. Is that enough for the Fed to agree that they're not going to, in principle, be aggressive, or should I say hawkish with their stance on interest rates? Is that enough? But it's non-farm payrolls this week on Friday, which are going to dictate the narrative, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, I apologize for this madness of a day. It won't be happening. For my guys in the UK, 1 p.m. UK time is when I'll be going live, which will be consistent with the New York futures markets. If I bring on screen one, look at this little flip here. You like that one there? Yeah, whilst we're talking. Courtesy of Mr. Dutch, 4 hours it took me to get this sorted out. Mike knew how to do it. It took me ages to get it worked out. But anyways, you can see Bitcoin right now is bringing that flavor 3 hits lower, 3 red vector candles, but the vector candles aren't finalizing at the lows. What does that mean? It's a sweep for liquidity. From now going into the FOMC data tomorrow, guys, now till London close, you principally should be getting your positions finalized if you're from the UK. If you're in the US, get your positions finalized before the New York close today. Why? Because anything that you may have earned during this time, whether it's from Asia last night going into UK till now, okay, take your money and stay away from the charts. Why do I keep telling you guys not to trade the most volatile times? Because you ain't going to be back here with any capital to trade the easier times. Let the news roll out. Don't be the exit liquidity for when they smack price up and they bring it back down again. Don't be those guys, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, again, I apologize. If you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe. It takes you a second to do so. If you want more on the hybrid system, especially with that strategy that we just discussed, check out the Patreon. It's pinned to the top of the chat, or just go to patreon.com/tradersreality and get with the community over there, because those guys are pretty technical traders. Masters of the hybrid is what I like to call them. And they do a load of madness and draw loads of memes about me, which is pretty... I ain't even going to go into it. Mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves. Peace.